There is a level of psychological control that makes women look at you with fear and terrifying desire. Today, you will discover the 7 tricks that make it possible. You've been sold a lie about attraction. They told you to chase, to compliment, to perform, hoping she would notice you. They were wrong. She didn't reject you because you lacked a good line, she rejected you because you showed up as a man whose emotional world was completely negotiable. You handed her the keys to your self-worth. The cold reality is this: women do not become obsessed with men they control. They become obsessed with the men they cannot move. There is an ancient, rigorous philosophy that produces exactly this kind of frightening, unshakable consistency: Stoicism. These are not pick-up lines, they are disciplined acts of emotional sovereignty that fundamentally change your presence. They are the scariest psychological tricks because they require you to kill the part of yourself that craves her validation. This ends now. We're going to give you the 7 most powerful psychological tricks you'll ever need, tricks rooted in the philosophy of command. But before we begin, subscribe to the channel and comment below. I am unbreakable. Chapter 1: The Death of Neediness. The struggle you face is simple: you are ruled by your emotions, and she feels it. A man who folds under pressure is easily replaced. These first tricks are about destroying the neediness that keeps you in the passenger seat of your own life. Trick 1: The power of strategic silence. Every message you send, every apology you make, every time you fill a pause with chatter is an emotional leak. The Stoic command is reserved speech. Your words are a currency, and you must refuse to debase them. You speak in statements, not pleas for approval. You let your actions and your stillness carry the weight. When you withhold vulnerability, you create magnetic depth. She loses the blueprint to your soul and becomes obsessed with filling that informational gap. Trick 2: The Indifference Field, the Adiaphora Shield. You must master the art of the indifference field. Her emotional outbursts, subtle tests, and attempts to pull back attention are external indifference, adiaphora. They are not within your control, and therefore, they cannot be allowed to touch your inner peace. Your discipline is refusing to output an emotional reaction to her emotional noise. When she realizes her chaos is ineffective against your calm, she loses her primary weapon. Your lack of reaction is interpreted as immense, unshakable power. Trick 3: The Objective Mirror, Cognitive Distancing. When she is emotional, your old self would panic and personalize the attack. The Stoic trick is objective representation, prosoche. You analyze her behavior not as a personal assault, but as a neutral external event. She is reacting to her own internal landscape, not your value. You address the behavior logically, not the emotion. You become the calm, rational observer who sees the truth beneath her surface. This clarity is terrifyingly attractive because you refuse to get pulled into her reality. Chapter 2: The Fortress of Self-Sufficiency. Even if you silence your tongue, if your inner life still requires her attention to function, you are still weak. These next 4 tricks build the impenetrable fortress that forces her to chase the man, not the supplicant. Trick 4: The Autonomous Fortress, Self-Sufficiency. You must cultivate complete self-sufficiency, autarky. Your happiness, mission, and validation must be derived 100% from your internal life. You remove any need for her presence to define your wholeness. She senses a man who is UN addicted to her. This eliminates the codependency she is used to in other men. She becomes obsessed with entering your fortress because she recognizes you don't need her for survival, only for partnership. Trick 5: The Refusal of Neediness, Withholding Assent. The difference between a man who chases and a man who is chased happens in the millisecond between thought and action. When a needy impulse strikes, I must text her, I need to know where she is, you practice the Stoic discipline of withholding assent. You label the thought as an unhelpful impression and refuse to give it energy or action. The thought exists, but your behavior is controlled. This disciplined refusal makes you seem like a man of iron will. Trick 6: The Anti-Validation Filter, Internal Metric. The man who seeks approval dies by it. You must abolish reliance on all external validation, her praise, her criticism, the status of the relationship. Your metric for success is 100% internal, based only on your virtue and effort. She cannot manipulate you by withholding affection because your self-worth is non-negotiable. She becomes obsessed with trying to breach the filter, only proving your immunity. Trick 7. The reserve clause commitment, amor fati in action. You must commit to the relationship with fierce passion, but hold the reserve clause, the powerful mental acceptance that fate may intervene and the relationship may end. You love her, but you are prepared to accept her loss, amor fati, if necessary. This creates a subtle, powerful detachment. She senses that your love is a gift of choice, not a chain of need, making her desperate to prove she is worthy of such a powerful, free will devotion. The transformation from negotiable to unshakable. When you implement these 7 Stoic tricks, you are not just changing your dating strategy, you are reshaping your identity. Your friends will call you obsessive. Your exes will say you've become cold. Great. When your discipline makes others uncomfortable, you are finally operating at the right level. You stop being someone who tries to be confident and become someone who simply is unshakable. That unshakable presence is the only force that creates obsession. She doesn't become obsessed with you, she becomes obsessed with your unbreakability. You were never meant to live on your knees for love. You were meant to walk in power. Start now. Your time isn't infinite. If this video changed your perspective on discipline and attraction, then lock it in. This is not the end, this is the start of a new era for you. To commit to this transformation, hit the like button right now. And if you want to support this movement and make sure other men finally hear the truth, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Command your respect. Do not delay your greatness.